Ciao, sono Anna e questo è My Italian Circle. There is no better time of year to snuggle down with a bit of your favorite fun activity than the Christmas holidays. And I'm sure that your favorite activity is Italian grammar, of course. Fetch yourself a cozy blanket, a box of your favorite chocolates, and let yourself be pampered with the grammar mix that I've prepared for you. As a Christmas gift, just for this time, you can download a free grammar worksheet that you can indulge in across December and into the new year. And of course, our patrons get more additional content as usual. Pronti?
Italian Grammar Mix. Che o chi?
Look at this pair of sentences. Questo è lo studente che ha passato l'esame. Questo è lo studente che ha passato l'esame. Can you tell me which sentence is correct? Qual è la frase giusta? The one with chi or the one with che? And the correct one is questo è lo studente che ha passato l'esame. Why? Well, instead of going through the technicalities, my advice is to simply remember that the word chi replaces the words la gente che, la persona che, the people or the person who. Let's try to replace it in our sentence and see if this works. Questo è lo studente, la persona che ha passato l'esame. Does it sound right? No, there's too much stuff. The sentence in English would sound like this. This is the student, the person who passed the exam. So, the correct relative pronoun here is che, lo studente che ha passato l'esame. In a nutshell, che can be a relative pronoun that connects two sentences and means that, which or who. Ho conosciuto uno studente che viene da San Francisco. I met a student who comes from San Francisco. Chi can also be a relative pronoun. We can replace it with la persona che, la gente che. Chi fa così sbaglia. He who does that makes a mistake. We could also say la gente che fa così sbaglia. Armed with this knowledge, you can now choose the right sentence. Ho parlato con Emanuela, la guida turistica che incontrerò a Firenze. Ho parlato con Emanuela, la guida turistica che incontrerò a Firenze. The correct sentence is the first one. Ho parlato con Emanuela, la guida turistica che incontrerò a Firenze.
Voglio andare a Venezia.
Sometimes students are confused when they have to use two verbs one after the other. It's a vast subject, so today we'll just focus on modal verbs, that is, verbs such as dovere, potere, volere. These verbs are often followed by other verbs. The important thing to remember is that the second verb must be in the infinitive form. Devo andare al lavoro. I must go to work. Posso andare al lavoro. I can go to work. Voglio andare al lavoro. I want to go to work. Posso andare. Devo andare. Voglio andare. The second verb, andare, is always in the infinitive. So, don't say voglio vado a Venezia, but voglio andare a Venezia. Other common verbs follow this pattern, for example, preferire, desiderare, sapere, essere capace di. Now it's your turn. Translate this sentence into Italian. I prefer to have dinner at home this evening. Preferisco cenare a casa questa sera. Another one. When I was little, I always wanted to watch cartoons. Quando ero piccolo, volevo sempre guardare i cartoni animati.
Transitivo o intransitivo?
Learners of Italian are often confused when it comes to transitive and intransitive verbs. And yet, understanding this concept can help a lot when you need to form the passato prossimo, the most common past tense. So, this explanation is going to be very useful. How do you form the passato prossimo, the Italian present perfect? Which helping verb? Essere or avere? There are many rules, but here I will just give you a tip that often works. Not always, often. A simple concept to keep in mind is transitive verbs form the passato prossimo with avere. But first, we need to know whether our verb is transitive or intransitive. How to do that? Let's have a look at two example sentences. La lezione è iniziata 2 ore fa. Il professore ha iniziato la lezione 2 ore fa. Here we have the same verb in the same tense, the passato prossimo. In the first sentence we use essere, because here the verb iniziare is intransitive, it doesn't have an object. In the second sentence, we use avere because here iniziare is transitive. It has an object, la lezione. This is of course a special verb because it can be used as transitive or intransitive depending on the context, but it's useful to make you understand the difference. And there are many other verbs like this one. So, how can you tell whether a verb is used with a transitive or intransitive meaning? Easy. You have to check if it has or it can have a direct object with no preposition in front of it. If it does, it's transitive. Once you know that, you are ready to form the passato prossimo. For example, Marco guarda la televisione. Televisione is the object. Therefore, guardare is transitive. The passato prossimo is Marco ha guardato la televisione. Marco legge molti libri. Leggere has an object, molti libri, many books, so it's transitive. The passato prossimo will be Marco ha letto molti libri. In a nutshell, verbs that can have a direct object are called transitive. These verbs form the passato prossimo with avere. There are also other rules on the formation of the passato prossimo. We talk about it in a few other videos, and there will be more on this topic in the near future. Here, I am giving just a quick shortcut that often works. Does a sentence answer the question who or what, chi o cosa, without any preposition? If the answer is yes, the verb is transitive. If the answer is no, the verb is intransitive. Now, listen to these sentences and tell me if the following verbs are transitive or intransitive.
Sandra legge una rivista. Leonardo cade dalla sedia. Il film finisce alle 21. Vedo Paolo in fondo alla strada.
Sandra legge una rivista. Legge is transitive. It has an object, una rivista. The passato prossimo is Sandra ha letto una rivista. Leonardo cade dalla sedia. There is no direct object here because we have a preposition dalla. Cadere is intransitive. Leonardo è caduto dalla sedia. Not avere, but essere. Il film finisce alle 21. No object here. Intransitive, so. Il film è finito alle 21. Vedo Paolo in fondo alla strada. Transitive. Paolo is the object. Ho visto Paolo in fondo alla strada. And this is the end of our grammar mix. I tried my best to keep it short and sweet. Short, but useful, hopefully. Now, to remember all this, you have to do a little more effort and practice. Download the video transcript with exercises using the link in the description below. Patrons, you can download your special PDF from our Patreon page. I wish you all a very happy holiday season. Enjoy your days off, enjoy the festive spirit, but above all, study Italian. Buone feste a tutti!